Hey, what's up, Friday? You know I've been looking forward to seeing you again. You know, it's Arthur Rawe here, bringing it in on the Discussion Combustion. Happy Friday YouTube channel. Happy Friday, America. Happy Friday, world. That was the Fricashunas with the Happy Friday anthem. Man, I am super excited to bring this weekend in. We have a fantastic episode lined out today. Couldn't do it without one of my best friends, man, sitting across the couch, Kevin, the best racer in the friend group, Batstone.
That's quite the introduction. Happy Friday, America, and happy March 1st. This is one of my favorite months. Why? We got St. Patrick's Day coming up. It's Art's birthday coming up. It's daylight savings time. It's all the fun things. More, the weather's going to be getting better. I love March. I love Fridays. You're kicking the weekend off right with us right here. Let's go, Art.
Yep, and we're starting it off with Today in History. And actually, there were some cool ones. What happened on March 1st? So, 1872, Yellowstone becomes the world's first national park. I did not realize that Yellowstone was the first national park in the world.
1872. I mean, that's going back quite a ways. I still haven't been up there. Cody, Wyoming, a lot of folks like to stay there before they venture in. We've talked about Yellowstone a little bit with the bison and the buffaloes up there and some of the things that happen, but that's pretty cool, man. I still got to get up there.
Yeah, I got to get up there too, but I had no idea that was the first one in the world, so that's really cool. Moving forward to 1909, first U.S. anniversary. It's the first university school of nursing is established, and that was the University of Minnesota. So that's obviously a huge thing, recognizing how important it is to study, health and have a nursing school. So I think that was a cool one.
Yeah.
Moving forward as well, the U.S., so this one's our nuke news for the week here. So the U.S. explodes Castle Bravo. It was a 15 megaton hydrogen bomb at Bikini Atoll, and it was accidentally the largest and most powerful nuclear device ever detonated by the U.S.
And this was in 1954.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was a year before my mom was born and a year after my dad was born, right in the middle.
Yep. And so that was a big one. I mean, you think about the power of some of these nukes going off. I'm just so interested in it. That's why I'm always throwing these in here.
There's always a lot of nuclear stuff in here, including in 1985.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when the Pentagon accepted the theory that the atomic war could cause a nuclear winter.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, in Terminator 2, they made that scene very, very incredible. If you've seen Terminator 2 Judgment Day, it's one of my favorite movies. They kind of replicate what that would look like.
Mm-hmm. A nuclear winter would be catastrophic for all of us. And so, nuclear deterrence, that whole thing, we go down that rabbit hole another time.
Fair.
Also, in 2018, this was a cool discovery. I remember seeing this when it first came out, like on Reddit and different things. But they found the earliest figured tattoos of figures. It was bull and sheep, and it was on two naturally mummified bodies from Egypt. And they were from the predynastic period, I believe, 3,351 through 3017 BC.
That's going back a ways.
Yeah, so that's really cool. Have you ever seen that picture of those?
I have not seen that picture.
Okay, no, that was a cool one. Yeah, so that's Today in History. Lori, I know you love that.
Yes, absolutely. Ending it on some history, of course, and we're going to keep it moving on into some kind of big news here in America. We all love Wendy's. I had it for lunch yesterday. Okay, it's delicious. You get the Baconator. They got the ghost pepper fries.
Ghost pepper.
Unfortunately, they were out of the ghost pepper fries, the Wendy's I visited. But you guys might have heard, you might not have heard, Wendy's was talking about doing surge pricing, kind of like how Uber and Lyft does during peak hours, airport runs, things of that nature. Well, Wendy said, man, we're going to start increasing the price of items $1 to $2 to almost $10 per item during the dinner and lunch rush. And people were going absolutely berserk. And so they pulled it back. They took a look at it this week, the CEO, and said, man, we can't do it. So as of right now, Wendy says we're going to pull back on the surge pricing, and we're just going to keep the pricing the same.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think the surge pricing would not have been a good move for Wendy's.
No.
Because you're obviously your two biggest competitors, Burger King, McDonald's. Really, McDonald's is kind of the powerhouse that Wendy's has in the competition booth. But if you're going to go surge pricing, you're just driving people to Burger King and McDonald's if they're going to take prices up for lunch. Right?
Well, when it doesn't make sense, it's like Uber food is a different type of service. It's a different type of service that Uber is providing. And so there's like a different, if you want food, it's going to be extra because it's surged hours, traffic's more. It's about driving a car. But then if you just, since they can surge prices during rush hour, we can surge prices too, even though you're like a fixed brick and mortar location that is known to be valued, like have a value price.
Yeah.
So that would be a horrible move.
It would be a horrible move. I think they looked at that when they did the analytics on it. I'm glad they didn't even test it. But as of right now, Wendy's has kind of look. They've been in the conversation all week. Are they going to take the prices up? Are they going to do this surge pricing? Are they not? And so as of right now, as we said on March 1st, 2024, they said we're not going to do it right now. This might be something that comes down the pipeline. Might be maybe they're just testing how the market was going to respond to the possibility of it. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Uber is different. It's hard to compare. When it comes to surge pricing.
Yes.
You're going to pay more when you go to the airport. You're going to pay more if you request an Uber leaving the Broncos game, right? You're not going to want to pay more at 12:30 in the afternoon when you want to go get a Dave's double.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, come on. Give me that Baconator at the normal price, Dave. Damn it. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's kind of silly. I think it's funny how people want to try to cash grab and do things like that, and, like you guys aren't making enough money.
Right.
What's up with your vacation homes? How nice are those?
Right.
Is that really necessary? But one thing that I do believe is necessary is sustaining physical health in life. And I was going through all the journals, articles out there, and I saw this this headline, 81-year-old named world's oldest fitness instructor. And I just thought that was so cool. So I wanted to pull this one in, highlight this, right? Because this man is, nearing the end of his life as far as like our age can be as a human, but still staying driven, still helping others, still fulfilling a purpose in life. And how important is fulfilling purposes? So it was a Texas man, and his name is Tim Minnick. And what happened is he ended up getting a certification at age 73. So he was so late when he had done this because his wife had actually passed, and he says that he was looking for something to keep him active after his wife's death. And I think that being productive is one of the best ways to overcome depression. And, you're staying busy and you're staying physical. So I really respect that. And just a quick quote from Tim here is that we start losing muscle when we're 35 years old. So unless you act to keep that going, by the time you're age 75, you're in not so good shape. It's just like buying insurance policy, in my opinion, insurance against failing as you get older.
Yeah.
So staying busy, staying active, keep it moving. Losing a loved one is always going to be a hard situation for anyone who goes through that. And I just feel like what he did with all of this, and I wanted to highlight that. So let's go, Tim.
Pretty cool story, man. It kind of goes to show you that you can own it at any moment, whatever age you are. And I've heard a lot of studies too that like actively pursuing your purpose could, in fact, extend your lifespan.
Okay.
And so I'm not necessarily saying that this man, that's his purpose to be a fitness trainer, but what's also cool about this is the Guinness Book of World Records gave him a nod.
They did.
And said, hey, you are officially certified as.
And everybody knows we're into Guinness over here.
Oh, well, yeah, not so much the beer, but the records, of course.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool that Guinness, acknowledged that as
That
you're the
is.
oldest fitness trainer out there. So, man, I'd take a lesson or two from him, I think. Good old Tim.
Yeah, and if anything, just to be around positive energy is a great thing. I was on a walk today. I was passing some people that were walking, and I just quickly would be like, hey, good afternoon. And like, oh, it's such a beautiful day, isn't it? Aren't we? It's great to be around that kind of energy.
Absolutely.
And Tim, keep it up. Somebody else that's keeping things up that hasn't been really mentioned on this show in a couple weeks, I think, is a man by the name Mr. Rush.
David Rush is back. Kevin's Random Records. I got to do it weekly. And, man, David Rush, I'm rooting for him now. Like, I'm just become a fan of this guy.
Okay.
Because I watched a whole video on him, which I'm going to leave down in the show notes down below for you to go down and click on. And he kind of talked about his journey through this. This man was an engineer. He was, like, top in his class, graduate, was working the corporate life. And he said, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm done with it. And so he left. And he started chasing his dream of breaking world records. He's making a full-time living doing it.
That's
now.
awesome.
So he's at 161 Guinness Book of World Records. He's second in the world now, only behind the Italian record breaker Silvio Saba. He is chasing him to have the most. So he's got about 20 more to go.
Yeah,
and he wants to do one a week is his goal.
Silvio has 182 total.
Correct. So he's got 21 more to go technically to tie. 22 to break it. So How did he get his 161st Guinness Book of World Record, you might ask?
How's that?
Man, this one was pretty cool.
I didn't read this one because I wanted to be surprised.
So it's basically he had to hit a soccer ball.
Okay.
You know how they do that in soccer?
Yeah,
Because they can't
like
use
headbutt the ball.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
It had to go over 59.6 feet into an exact target.
Oh.
That's a long way to go. And I watched this video, man. It took him all day. The next day, his head was bruised.
Really?
From all of the attempts. So he had to take, it was an officially licensed FIFA soccer ball.
Okay.
And he headed it into a trash can almost 60 feet away.
Wow.
To break the record. And
Wow.
so now he has
And
that.
it took him all day to do it?
Took him all day. And the
Okay.
witnesses from the Guinness Book were like, we're going to be leaving soon, man. Like, you got to either get it or we're leaving.
Yeah.
And he's like,
and
all
they
right.
couldn't come back tomorrow or something?
No. And he's like, all right, this is the one. And the guy you see in the video, he hucks it and boom, he nails it right into the can.
And then there it is. I bet you he was stoked.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you
so,
he was super stoked on that one.
David Rush getting his 161st,
Mm-hmm.
second all-time still as a record holder. If he keeps pace on one a week, which is his goal now going forward, he will be the number one in the world with the most world records at 183 sometime this summer.
All right, let's go, David Rush. I will root for you on that for sure. I like the random records. Those are always fun. What we got coming up next is the tried and true Would You Rather, but of course, last week's recap first.
Yep, just got the results in over on Twitter X. Be sure to follow us over there at Happy Fry USA over on Twitter X. The polls go up every Friday morning. While you're watching this right now, you can pull up Twitter as well, Twitter X, and go ahead and vote, or just leave a comment down below, whichever's more convenient for you. So last week we asked, or you asked, Art, if you could exist as a human, in one of these two universes, one being Star Wars, one being the Marvel universe, what would you choose?
Yes.
The results are in. Okay, 71% went Star Wars.
Okay.
Yep, 71% went Star Wars, 29% Marvel. So about little over 2/3 of the vote went towards Star Wars, which I know you sided with.
Okay, let's go. See, you beat me out a lot of weeks too.
Well,
so it feels good to have one back on you. All my Star Wars people out there. I
That's
wonder
fair.
why they chose Star Wars though. That would be kind of fun to like get a breakdown of why people are selecting these things.
It was a pretty powerful Would You Rather,
You know.
I'll say. At my Mash the Gas NASCAR Sunday party, we had the boys over, and this was still being talked about and debated.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm hoping that this week's Would You Rather is that it holds a flame to that.
All right, what do we got?
So this is what I got for this week. So if you had to pick, would you rather be a super successful ghostwriter? Obviously, you're a ghostwriter. No one knows who you are, but you're super successful doing this. Or would you rather be the pop star, the singer, the person who's performing this ghost-written music? But if you're the singer, then you're not the creator of any of the lyrics. Like you're not making up the lyrics to these songs. Yeah. So either you're a super successful ghostwriter, no one knows who you are, or you're a super successful singer, but it's not your own material.
Yeah, and you obviously can't be both because it's a Would You Rather. So
yes.
You can't be like a Chris Stapleton or a Taylor Swift that writes amazing music and performs.
No.
Everyone in this business has a little bit of narcissism to them, being on camera and mic every week. So that little devil on the shoulder is telling me I want to be that star singer.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the successful ghostwriter this week.
Yeah.
Because those guys don't get enough credit, and they are the reason why we have great content and shows, movies, music, podcasting, you name it. Writers, obviously we had the writer's strike last year, which was pretty
a very long strike,
pretty tumultuous to the entertainment industry. Honestly, I mean it's messed up a lot of things. So I'm going to side with the writers here. I know our former co-host John Ekstrom would probably agree with that as well.
Yep, he's been a ghostwriter in the past too. Yep. Probably still does.
Yeah, I think he still is. So I'm going to take the ghostwriter in the situation as much as it is to be the star of the show and get all the attention. I'm going ghostwriting, baby.
I like your breakdown there. I like your analysis. My main thing when I started thinking about this is, okay, how is my life experience? Like, what kind of, if I'm successful, I could still go travel regardless. I could still go do all these things regardless and be left the fuck alone if no one knows who I am. So I'm going ghostwriter too. Like, I want the success. I don't need people to know that it was me. The word is still impacting. And I would like to be able to go travel without needing a caravan or security, fly underneath the radar a little bit. As nice as fame sounds, I don't think it's actually probably that great.
It's pretty invasive.
Yeah.
Like you said, you show up for a vacation and you got 15 people standing there wanting to talk to you,
like
take
Taylor,
pictures.
Imagine being Taylor Swift.
She deals with it every single day.
Like what?
Every single day. But, that's just what comes with that kind of fame. I don't think when she was, 14, 15 coming into the industry, she knew that it was going to be this massive, 20, 30, 25 years later, whatever it's been. But I'm going ghost riding. Let us know what you're going. Comments below, Twitter X. And that's the Would You Rather, man.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. Yeah, definitely. We appreciate everyone's participation in that. You're bringing it into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is back in a big way right now, isn't it?
Yeah, so for people that have been following me for a long time or listened to me talk since, 2020, 2021, when I got into investing, I bought into cryptocurrency. We've all heard about cryptocurrency. A lot of people don't know what it means. A lot of people don't know what it is. The reality is it's not going away, especially Bitcoin. There's a million other coins out there you can trade. Bitcoin is the gold standard now for cryptocurrency. Always has been, even with the pullback that we've seen over the last few years. And this rally is massive right now. It broke 63,000 earlier this week for the first time since November of 2021. So as I record this, I'm going to pull up the actual live action price of what Bitcoin is trading at. Currently at 61,316, which is just tremendous because the pullback we saw all the way into the teens, right after it hit its all-time high in November of 2021 at 69,000. This thing's going parabolic. And, at this point, I advised my friends and family to get into Bitcoin when it had the pullback. At this point, a lot of folks are FOMOing in.
Yeah.
FOMO stands for fear of missing out.
The force is growing strong with the FOMO.
A lot of FOMO with crypto, but what I'm telling you guys is this. In 50 days, they're going to do a Bitcoin halving. So essentially what that means is it's like when a stock splits. We saw Tesla do it. We've seen a lot of other stocks do it. So it essentially splits it in half, doubles the value of the coins that you actually hold, or the fractional piece of the coin. So, I'm not an expert. Crypto is the most volatile thing you can possibly trade. A lot of, the big hitters out there, the Warren Buffetts, the Kevin O'Learys, they do carry some of it in their portfolio, so I would advise caution. But I'm telling you guys, we're going to see Bitcoin go to all-time highs in the next 2 months, and there's an opportunity to make some money.
I don't do much in stocks myself, so there's a lot of potential there. Obviously, you have to have skin in the game. My devil's advocate to the entire thing is, just be prepared to take some losses and also potentially have additional stress in your life because you're playing around with money and, people forget money's a tool. Sometimes we forget it's a tool and then we start getting overzealous about I lost money.
Yeah.
Well, you should consider any money you put into stocks a loss of that money. It's just gone, right? Is that how you look at it or what?
Not necessarily. I don't necessarily look at it as it's gone. I look at it almost as my savings account a little bit because what would go into a savings account I like to invest, savings accounts you can get maybe 1 to 2, 3%, return annually, but I have the opportunity, crypto is very volatile, right? So stocks and crypto, they're in the same conversation, but you're a little safer on trading the S&P 500, trading, NASDAQ and the tech companies. You're a little safer there. Yeah, it still goes up and down, but you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4% gains in some of those stocks, whereas crypto had Bitcoin had 20% return this week alone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy rally. So when you think about that, you put 10 grand in, that's $2,000 in a week that you just made.
Yeah.
And as it continues to go to new all-time highs, I would just advise people to be smart with it. I'm not saying go dump all your money into Bitcoin. Do your research, be cautious with it, and if you do buy it, you need to watch it like a hawk. And like you were saying, Art, that can be stressful. I literally check my Robinhood, so I trade through Robinhood.
You just checked it halfway through the show.
Yeah, well, because I wanted to get the live report, but because it goes up and down so much, I check my Robinhood account, so free plug for Robinhood, probably 3, 4, 5 times a day. Just to see where things are trending, because if I see a buy or sell opportunity, I want to capitalize on it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like I said, not anything I dabble with. I've never done it. So by any means, make sure that you're doing your own research and advise your own experts. But we all see what's happening with that. And shit, I can't sit here and lie. I wish I had some money in Bitcoin right now and was like, okay, yeah, I'm happy I held. That would be a good feeling.
It is a good feeling because now I've told everyone that told me I was an idiot for buying Bitcoin, because I bought it. My dollar cost average was about 42,000. Just I'm being upfront. That was my dollar cost average. So it's currently valued at 62.
Yeah.
Right. 61, 62. So that's a tremendous gain. I told you, I told everybody when it pulled back to 19,000, I'm like, buy Bitcoin now because it's going to go parabolic in the next few years, and it did. I've been giving my buddy Mark a hard time. He doesn't want to listen to it because he knows I was right.
Oh gosh, here we go. That could be a whole show within itself. Kevin talks stocks, and dude, maybe
Whoa.
Yeah,
might have to get Clint involved on that one.
Yeah, we're gonna need a team behind that. I could produce it, but I don't know anything else.
That's an idea.
Something else that people are trying to hold on to is memorabilia, and sometimes memorabilia is also lost. And in this case, there was a James Bond message that was found in a bottle from 1966 within a Jersey castle. I don't know what kind of castles are out in Jersey, what's going on with that. But either way, they're going to restore this fireplace. They find a bottle. There's a note inside. It reads, 007 James Bond, 26th of February, 1966. P.S. Secret agent. Don't tell anybody. That's what it says. And then on the back, it's like on the reverse side, the note reads E.A. Blampede, and they think that was for a past Jersey artist, Edmund Blampede, who had died actually in 1966. So it was the hype. It was coming out soon. Some James Bond. I saw that in there. We talk about messages and bottles that float up and stuff. It's kind of fun news. And besides, everybody loves James Bond with a little bit of bad boy.
James Bond is fantastic, and the fact that this is found 58 years later from the date that note was written in the fireplace, they were trying to do restorations on the fireplace.
Yes,
and they're like, "What's this?"
Yeah, they're like, "What is this?" It was a note in a bottle. Who wrote it? I don't know, but they were obvious. And what's up with the castles in Jersey? So does Jersey has like castles?
Well, you got to think about it, Art. So
like straight up castles.
Well, I mean, New Jersey was one of the original 13 colonies.
Yeah.
So it's old. It's going to have time, a lot of old architecture, stuff like that. I mean, we have here in Colorado Bishop's Castle, which I still haven't been to. I heard it's fantastic. I'd like to go there.
Yeah.
I don't
think I've ever been there either.
You never been to Bishop's Castle?
I don't think so.
It's like, people say it's badass.
How far is the drive?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Probably within an hour?
Within 2 hours.
Within 2.
And you gotta hoof it into the woods a little bit.
Oh.
But they call it Bishop's Castle. This man built it like all on his own or something. I'm not an expert on Bishop's Castle. I've heard a lot of people talk about it here in Colorado. I'd like to see it.
So yeah, I just wonder about these New Jersey castles, because
it's older part of the region.
Yeah, but when all that was happening, like castle defenses, I thought was past. I thought that was a time before.
It kind of was, but I think it's kind of replicating the architecture.
Because they had forts, they had wood forts, and so I guess a castle would still be better than a wood
fort for sure. I mean,
wood fort.
there was a couple structures that looked like castles or had castle resemblance in my hometown of Wolper, New Hampshire. I would drive by. There's this little museum called the Wright Museum, which is like a war museum, and there was a house right across that resembled a castle. Like it had that style of architecture. Maybe that's what they're referring to. I don't know. I didn't see any photographs of it. My article got cut off here because our printer did some weird things.
Yeah.
So I don't have a ton of information here.
No, I literally read off all the information that there was to be had. And no, I was just looking at my script compared to yours, and I actually have the same thing twice, and so I'm like, yeah, Kevin doesn't have any of this shit.
I have none of it.
But it was a cool find. Whenever we're doing remodeling, maybe we just do the demo a little nicer. Who knows what we can find in there, man. So moving into things that are not necessarily a good thing to find.
Well, so we know that artificial intelligence is here to stay. There's a lot of, just like anything, there's pros and cons to it. It can be used for good. It can be used for bad.
Yes.
And it's not going anywhere. Matter of fact, I was just messing with our buddies before I went on air with an AI app where you can have Joe Rogan or Donald Trump or Biden say things that you put into it, and it looks like they're saying it, for an app that costs $3. I mean, it's amazing what they can do with AI. So there's a situation that happened. This is, not a great story, but we want to bring some light to it here at Happy Friday America. Out in Beverly Hills, California, there was a middle school individual that thought it would be funny to utilize AI by taking essentially a deep fake and taking those faces, and we've been talking about deep fakes for years over on the Discussion Combustion podcast, and basically doing nude photographs with their classmates, and it's turned into a pretty big deal, and it's being investigated. I haven't heard any follow-ups. Art, I did check for one on the air that they've gotten anywhere with this, but in 2020, California did pass a law that allows victims of non-sexual, sexually explicit deepfakes to sue the individual who created and distributed that material, and they can recover up to $150,000 in that lawsuit for defamation, things of that nature. So this is ongoing out there. It's just kind of another nod to where AI can be extremely concerning. I don't agree with California on a lot of things, but frankly, I do agree with them on this, in that we're at a point where we need to start considering how we're going to regulate AI a little bit.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you do that. It's the same reason that ChatGPT, you can't get in trouble for plagiarism, right? There's no way to regulate that. Who are you stealing it from?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the answer is, but this is a concern and probably a sign of what's to come.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I agree it's not going anywhere. And I think AI does have a lot of importance and a lot of usability that can help businesses, coding, like technology stuff. It has its place. However, AI, like, and I learned this from John X, it's uncanny. Like, you can just tell that it's not real. Like the AI art, like even when
it's going to get better though.
Even when we do it, well, yeah. But even like right now though, what we're talking, you can kind of just sense the AI. Even like the AI voices, like on all the shorts and stuff like that. Like it's ugh. I don't know what it is about it. People will always misuse things, and all I can say is that karma is always going to catch up. And so you put stuff like this out here, you do defamation of character for anybody if they're in middle school or they're someone's grandma, like karma's going to catch up and you deserve to be paying the fines for this. So
and it's probably going to come down to the parental figures that are going to end up paying for this. Look, going back to forever ago, right? 90s. We went to school in the 90s and 2000s. I was bullied. There was people goofing off, making jokes, spray painting, embarrassing people. Yeah. You name it. Like this type of behavior's been going on.
It's just not going to go anywhere.
That behavior's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But now AI has offered a tool to take that to a whole nother level and make it almost seem legit.
Well, and then you also, like, when we were in school, we didn't have all the social media platforms to where kids could post and like share and
correct.
And do all this. So there's all these different layers to it nowadays that didn't exist when we were growing up. And I'm thankful for that.
I am too, and I know it makes us sound old, but we've really seen a massive boom in technology and artificial intelligence in the last 10 years than a boom going prior. Like things are happening faster. AI is not going anywhere.
No.
We've talked about deep fakes and the concerns with that. Now we're seeing AI voices. I mean, at some point they're going to be able to take. We have so much material out there. They could take your and my voice and make us say something we're not even saying.
Easily.
And that's coming.
And I would be honored if somebody did that and really tried to slander my name. I would be so honored.
It'd be a little bit of a battle, but
with that they took the time and felt like I was a big enough target to go after.
Sure.
That's how I would take all that. I'll take it in stride, but hopefully these people can grow up a little bit and stop, doing these type of things. And I don't know, man.
It needs to be, I'd like to see some justice here done for sure. Again, I don't agree with California on much, but you can't let this go away, because if you allow this to happen, it's just going to happen again in other schools, whatever. I stand up against.
It's a form of, it's like cyberbullying.
It's cyberbullying, and
basically
look,
what it is.
I was active with Kingswood Regional High School, Wolfboro, New Hampshire, in 2005, 6, and 7 on the anti-bullying program, and offered a lot of ideas, and because I was a guy that went through it.
Yeah.
I was bullied. Not to this extent.
No.
I was old school. Swirlies, get thrown in the trash can.
That's
get
probably
locked
worse.
In a locker.
That's probably worse.
I was old school bullied.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stand up for these kids. This is unacceptable, and I'd like to see some justice.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that, and I'm happy that you brought some light to that. So hopefully, we can bring some, make some change.
Make some
change for the people.
Absolutely.
So moving on to what's happening this weekend in America, I'll hit us off with this first one. The Beach Boys. They're going to be playing in Florida, Fort Price, on Sunday. That's going to be a cool one. My dad loves the Beach Boys. I mean, shit, they got classics.
I mean, the Beach Boys are fantastic. I'm going to go on record to say they're probably one of the best harmonic bands I've ever heard. Now, a lot of people learn from the Beach Boys on how to do things like that, but their harmonies that they have are just unbelievable. I love the Beach Boys. Go check them out down in Florida.
USA.
Oh, it's so good. Like, they just, if you're cruising, like, I always feel like when I'm in San Diego or something on the beach, I want to listen to the Beach Boys.
Oh, dude, turn it on. Turn it on.
Yeah, crank it up for sure. So that's going on Sunday. Right here in Steamboat Springs, which is about a 3.5-hour drive from Denver, Colorado. Beautiful town. So if you have the opportunity to go there on Sunday, we got the Winter Wondergrass Music and Brew Fest.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Very similar to the Blues and Brews and the Bluegrass Festival that takes place in Telluride, but that's going on up in Steamboat on Sunday, so you get yourself some delicious craft IPA beers and listen to some fun music.
That's going to be a good time, and those craft IPA beers hit different when you're up in the mountains.
Especially in Steamboat, yeah.
Yeah, they hit a little different up there. So drink some water, as Schween would say. What else we got going on? I wish I was in Bloomsburg, PA on Saturday, because they got the Mac and Cheese Festival. I wonder if they got I know you can't have it, but lobster mac and cheese, bacon mac and cheese. They probably got like a Parmesan mac and cheese. I even heard that they're going to have a dessert mac and cheese. You're going to have to go there to find out.
So the Mac and Cheese Festival comes through Winter Park, Colorado in the summertime when it warms up. I've never been, but I hear it's tremendous. I love mac and cheese. And free plug to Mac Nation in Indian Hills, Colorado. Right up there as you start to go up 285 into the hills, there's just a small little mom and pop shop. They got green chili mac and cheese, brisket mac and cheese. So good, Art, if you've never had it.
Oh, yum. I definitely want to try that out. And something anybody should try out if you're into racing or want to get into it, Mash the Gas podcast, release every single Monday. And Kevin, you run that podcast with Jeff Davis. And where's NASCAR going to be at this weekend?
We got a full weekend of action, guys. If you're in Las Vegas, Nevada, you're out there having a fun weekend. Maybe you're seeing a concert or something. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series running tonight. The NASCAR Xfinity Series running tomorrow. And then the NASCAR Cup Series runs on Sunday. Las Vegas, Nevada, NASCAR, the Pennzoil 400, guys. It's going to be fantastic. We've gotten out of Super Speedway race, and now we're going to what I like to call the meat and potatoes of the sport. So this is going to be a fantastic race. Looking forward to watching it. So definitely check out NASCAR in Las Vegas. And also, check us out. And be sure to give us some love, of course. Mash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Right there. Give it a smash. Subscribe so you never miss an episode of Happy Friday America or Discussion Combustion Podcast. And, try to drop it? Raw Talk's coming soon.
What?
Raw Talk is coming soon.
What?
Yep, that's right. It's on the mics now. What's that going to be? We don't know. You might have to tune in. It's coming, baby. But I'm going to tell you this. Be sure to follow us on social media so you never miss out on all the fun and exciting updates that are coming. We talked about Twitter X. That's going to be at Happy Fry USA, where you can participate in the polls. You can check out the promo clips, have some fun with us there. Instagram and Facebook is at Happy Friday USA across the board. And we also have a fun Gmail, happyfridayamerica@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email, take it old school. People don't send emails anymore. Hey, we're looking at the inbox, folks. Send us some juice. And, of course, the Fricashennas. We love the Fricashennas. They're about to play us out into this weekend. I'm ready to get it going. It's going to be fantastic. The weather looks good. Be good to yourselves. Let's go, America.